Thank you, Dr. Vaishnavi and Sahani sir. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1453rd day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. We welcome all to this session, and today our guest is Dr. PRASHANT NUVAL from Gujarat. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathic lovers, homeopathic students, and doctors, and we have 3 sessions every day. 7:30 to 8:30, we have a Hindi session, and international session begins from 8:30 to 9:30 in English, and 9:30 to 10:30, we have a local language session in Malayalam. So all these sessions are going in a good way. Yesterday, we celebrated the 500 day of our Zoom at Hindi session, and that was a great session indeed. And today we are about to begin already begun this second session, that is the international session, and our guest is Dr. PRASHANT NUVAL, who has completed MD Homeopathy and is a PhD scholar. He is working as an associate professor, Department of Organon of Medicine, LHIRC, Bahandu, Mahasana, Gujarat. He has 7 years of teaching experience and nearly 8 years of clinical experience. He is a consultant homeopath at Harith Homeopathy Clinic, Mahsana, Gujarat. He has published 4 papers in peer-reviewed journals in 2023. A case study of homeopathic heritage, September 2023 on Maesthesia Brevia. And doctor has presented a beautiful session the last May, that means some 3 months back, that was about our master, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. The story we know more, man we know less about. That was a great session. And today, Dr. PRASHANT NUVAL will be discussing or presenting the second part of the same. So that's a very, very interesting subject. We need to share all those things to the homeopathic lovers also. We will be uploading the same tomorrow itself so that everybody can watch it again and again. So proudly welcome Dr. PRASHANT NUVAL. Yes, doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm heartily thankful to the forum about all these opportunities. So last time I had shared few things regarding our master. Today I just want to carry forward it in next version. So last time, as a quick review, I would like to share that we have started the journey from the people with knowledge in their past history. So value of the knowledge was the thing from where I have all started. Then we knew about the timeline of master. It is just a quick revision so we can reconnect from where it all came. So master's life, lots of myth are there regarding our master, like his financial condition, the way he has worked, we have forgotten. So I have just tried to put some light on the forgotten facts. So in that context of life, I just shared how he was important for me to be a MD faculty, MD scholar. Then while searching about master, I have found that he's like one person. I have read somewhere that few people say that if Hahnemann had not discovered homeopathy, he could be the most revered person among those people who are telling about so-called science. And even that was confirmed by the person who got Nobel Prize for diphtheria antitoxin. In Stuart Close philosophy, it is very clearly mentioned that he shown his gratitude about him. So this is the condition where master. So these are the just highlighter. It is more than 70 where Hahnemann have contributed. this number is too high for a routine person. So I'm just giving you some hints like physics, psychotherapy. He had done marvelous work. Then the story we all know, like his financial, how much he is earning. So end of the day, 40 lakh franc was the possession of master when he passed away or he left us. So it is far, far, far beyond capacity of a common thinking of us. This is the photograph. It's Daguerreau photographic camera, most expensive and primitive camera in the France. And if he can afford this photograph, this is the original photograph of master. It is given in Dr. Divash Harishchand's book, Cleaning and Iconography of Hahnemann. This photo having its own value. Then all about why you should practice homeopathy, why not. Then about his journey as a student, the terms we are, even the people who are saying we are allopath and you are homeopath, that word is given by master. Even quackery word in the medical science, the most ethical use was given by master. The concept of simillimum and idea of minimum, the chronology of understanding from where homeopathy started, how it started, and how it changed the chemistry for very long. Then Cullen's Materia Medica, but what about Demarque's art of chemical product we discussed? Then master in Odessa Pere 3 lawsuits in his life, and he never give up, never ever gave up about that. Then as a friend, how he was. Then we all said that master had financial crisis, this, that, but that was a alkali new mistake in Mullen town, and it become proved borax. So he just shown his ethical side and just refunded all the clients. That was the thing. Then how he was looking as a businessman. So ethical part was electronium, but in the Paris with the great chemistry of Melanie, Madame Melanie, he developed that concept. Then his religious understanding, that word Beruf, preserver of mankind, preserver of health, Luther spirit. This Luther spirit is like soul of whole materia medica concept. He was a hardcore Protestant. So head to foot arrangement came from this Luther spirit. That is very beautiful concept I have shared with all of you. Then his wine taste, his physiological medicine, Brussels hunger diet and blood letting. We all know in 6th edition, in 5th edition, he said French physician. In 6th edition, in France, he used that word, name of the physician, and he slammed him like anyone. That was the beauty. Then as a teacher, this is the first group of students who made him immortal in homeopathy. Later on, his institute, his proposed plan with how a medical college for the homeopathy should be established and ran. He had a great vision. That is his incomplete dream. It is given in the page number 400 of Bradford's Life and Letter of Hahnemann. He even had proposed faculties like Jar, Murray, Crozerio. I am just here to share those people today because they made Hahnemann sir an immortal person. Then family man. Then as a philosopher, I was here when we had that time limit. Horace, the Odessa Pere, the bird he found in a church nearby to his Prince school. Then Gellert, his school senior, far, far, far school senior from the school, whose poems were very famous. Then Kant, aphorism 6, transcendental word. It is from his philosophy. He said that beyond material vision from there. We all say, how a man can get this? It is not like he had a dream. It was common conscience. It was like a good blend of his overall reading. And last one is Confucius. The Chinese medicine he admired like anything. I found reference in Richard Hale, that he was very fond of chess. He was very fond of Confucius concept, and that made me to search lots of things. And you won't believe the day I am reading about it, the day I am more and more mesmerized with him. So ultimately, master had support from these people, few men of support. I have used word man, but I'm having Melanie in the list. Madam Melanie, I have just used that way of explaining the feelings. So today we are just going to talk about these few men of support. So first one, I'm going to talk about Dr. G. H. G. Jha. Dr. Jha is one of those people whom Hahnemann loved like anyone, like his own kid, like his own brother. And you can find that reference in lots of things. Today I'm sitting with one book. It is Pioneers of Homeopathy by Dr. T.L. Bradford. Very beautiful book. Uh, if you are an ardent homeopath, if you are mad about homeopathy, this is a book you should have because it will give you insight of lots of people and lots of concept. So Dr. Jha, George Henry Dieudonné Jha, he was the one whose name is mentioned in sixth edition, and you can understand the value. Because in this list, people, only one person is missing whose name is in Organon, his magnum opus. That is Boning Hussain, who is not in the list because I don't take him as a man of support. Herring, Boning Hussain, they are not men of support. They are the other two pillars of triangle of Hum. Because that was the most beautiful era when Boning Hussain entered, Herring entered, and a lawyer and an ardent medical person with critical analysis. They revised the whole concept. The first potency by the Herring and the first properly arranged, classified repertory by the Boning Hussain. So in sixth edition, aphorism 153 footnote, he mentioned two people for a great contribution. First one is Boning Hussain. And I am using this name. They are not routine name. They are not the people who you can listen in day-to-day life homeopathic academics. They are forgotten heroes of this fight. That's why I'm here to give tribute because their contribution made Hahnemann the actual Hahnemann. So Jha, he was MD student when Hahnemann was with him. Hahnemann suggested him to give a contribution of preparing a good repertory and index which can help all to recall, retrieve, and record symptom easily. We all learn this thing in repertory, but what we know more about that repertory, we all know that that repertory was discarded by Hahnemann because of lengthy work, over particularization. It's okay. What happened with that repertory later on? What happened? Was that thrown away in the sea? No, it was always with Jar. But Jar himself had so immense faith in Master and he was so favorite with the Master that when Master was practicing in Paris, and when he was thinking about establishing a college, see, Institut de la Médecine Homéopathique, Paris, first name, who is teacher of Materia Medica Pura or teaching materia, he is Jha. So Hahnemann was never discarded him. He was just concerned about the utility of that book. He was very well aware of the abilities of Jar. So Jar's repertory was later on accepted by one another practitioner, Dr. Edmund. Dr. Edmund is no one else than the person with whom later on Kant merged, Kant collaborated, and they developed that section, three section, very famous. And later on, those sections were extended by himself as a homeopathic repertory by Kant. So the homeopathic repertory we are using today, Dr. Kant's repertory, having the ground soil of Jar's work. It is that's why it is particular repertory. It is general to particular repertory. It is having particularization in STME method. So it is the base of your today's life. Just like after Kant, we have synthetic, synthesis, complete repertory. So it is contribution of Jar. He was so much immense with the materia medica. He was so immense with the proving. He was so well versed with the materia medica that he was living even after death in those books, and lots of rubrics, lots of symptoms. Even he is having very one beautiful book, the 40 years of practice by Jar. Very beautiful book. If you are new homeopathy, if you are struggling with your practice, if you are having issue in your understanding, this book will never ever disappoint you. If you are reading Allen's keynote regularly, if you are going through Kant's Materia Medica, if you are going through Boric, add this one gem in your practice, in your knowledge, because he is telling his experience in that book. The book itself showing the years of experience. So Jar was the first person. Yes, his later life was very complicated. Later on, when he was not healthy, Hahnemann passed away. There was a civil war. He was living in a small town because he was not MD. So rule regulation barred him practicing in that region of Europe. So he needed help, and you won't believe the brothers from homeopathy. They made one group who every day contribute from their practice to help their teacher, Dr. Jar. That's how we learn gratitude. And Jar never complained. Even in his funeral speech, there was no remorse about those things. He was happy being there. He was always there. Even Jar is the one who witnessed Hahnemann's funeral. Yes, Hahnemann's funeral. You won't believe. Today I'm sitting with this magical diary, which is my love diary with Hahnemann. I just write down whatever I find. They are here wherever. I just get. And this funeral controversy, because I don't want to make mistake, I would like to say that it was attended by Dr. Jha, Hahnemann's daughter. Only very close people were allowed by Madam Melanie to attend this. And he was one of them. He was one of them. He was the one who was there with embalmer, the Christian conditioning of a funeral where the body has been prepared for the funeral. So he was the one. He was the one who gave that love to Hahnemann as a master. He never left his master alone. So Jar is the first one I wanted to share with you. He is the forgotten hero. In today's life, he is just a part of repertory history. The students who are here, few students I can see, they're having repertory in first year. So they are not very versed, but in final year, they will come to know the origin and evolution and evaluation of repertory. At that time, they will hear this name that his repertory was discarded, but what he was, how he was, it is just like we forgot lots of heroes in our Indian history, and we are focusing on only fixed people. No, it shouldn't be like that. These are the heroes. Their books are like gems. Jar, Skinner, Cooper, they are the gems we forgot. And they are the people who changed homeopathy, actually. Yes, obviously, Morningus had lots of love, lots of respect for him, for his repertory of antisorics. Even I'm using his extended version from the Boger, Patak. It is the lineage. But the lineage of that particular repertories, that's Jar. And you won't believe he had master a lot in managing symptom register. Materia medica pura. Materia medica pura. The things master needed. He was the one sitting in the Paris with the old Hahnemann, every day working for him, doing few things. And he's the one who got the news. One of few people who got the news about demise of master. So he was the support. So I just want to say that we still remember you, Master. We still remember you, Jai. Second one is Gross, another student of mine. The person, very beautiful history he's having. He was like 1794. He was lucky. He born somewhere around when homeopathy was born. So he met homeopathy when he was young. Homeopathy was also young. He met the master in such a way that you won't believe. I would like to read one paragraph. Dr. G.W. Gross adopted Korsakoff's notion, infected sugar globules with blood power by adding to them one globule imbibed with a dilution of his own blood, and published 2 cases of congestion which he cured with wonderful medicine. This is edited by staff, the next person we are going to talk. So he was the one who was doing these things. Gross had lots and lots and lots of issues up and down in the life. All the criticism was there, but yet he gave the idea that single globule is capable to impact all the one. That's why he is here. The concept we all believe, the minuteness is always there. So Gross was the one. Then staff, honest staff. If you are reading Materia Medica in your college life, the plant remedy, there is one lighter note. When I was a student and I have to attend Materia Medica Viva, and our teacher used to ask us, who is the prover of this remedy? I had a universal performer. If I can't recall the prover, and the remedy is from vegetable kingdom, the first guesswork I put on the table was E-staff. And in first and second year of my syllabus, I was 90% time was. I had that grand generalization that if is a remedy is veg. I am not saying every time, but I was lucky because he proved so much vegetable kingdom remedies at his young age with master. He is like pillar of that Materia Medica Pura 1811 to 1821 because he is one of the union of provers from the Leipzig, the famous 8 student of master who always there for him. And he was the first one who made the literature publication for homeopathy on regular basis. Because he was knowing master is getting lots of OPDs, lots of work, lots of criticism, and they want to make awareness in people. So homeopathic archive is the first official magazine or journal published in the Europe, was edited and published by this person. Though in today's syllabus, we don't get much knowledge about him, but he is like a gem. You won't believe when I see Staff's photograph, I feel him like more prone to Bonning Hussain person. But the way he worked, the way he gave platform to, if you go through the history with homeopathic archives, you won't believe. There were lots and lots and lots of people who were ready to publish, but they never ever had that chance. Where to publish, how to publish. He made streamline. He was like a homeopathic influencer of his time. Like today, Instagram, YouTube have their influencer. He was the influencer who was giving platform, like today's podcast. He was giving space to publish articles. So that was the speciality of staff. So these 3 people in my undergraduate life, hardly I have gone through their understanding. Now, when I'm sitting in practice, whenever I'm having tough cases, I'm unable to find lots of things. I'm unable to understand lots of things. What I do, I go with the JARS reference, I go with the staff. If it is in homeopathic archive, if I can get find little bit of idea, honestly, it is available on net. if you search little bit deeper, it is just like Gallet's poem. The truth is slightly covered over, did not bury deep. So you just have to do little bit brushing and searching. You will find his material. And when you are ready, you will read it. You will love it. You won't believe what level of work he had done. There are lots of articles in his homeopathic archive which are path breaking. They changed my mindset. Even one of them lost his kid, had lots of issues, but he never lost the faith. It's a story like Master. The way Master lost his kid while shifting from one to another place. The famous accident where they were crossing the river and they were in the accident and Master lost that infant or very young age kid, and he grieved 2 3 months for it, but yet the life should go on. Same applied to that one student. That is the thing which you should search: who lost the kid and who had issues because of that. So that is the thing. If you want to learn about staff, now you just search staff on it. Today, I have lots of incidents pending from the Master. The young age incidents where he just ran away to save someone. I had incidents of theft of his thalars from people. The total number of money he had in Kothan, the golden era of practice. After talking to Dhanesh sir, I was like, I had almost 40 slides ready and lots of energy. But in afternoon, when I was sitting here and I was thinking, what actually, because about Master had said something, but what about the people who made him Master? If there were no staff, there were no union provers, who could have done the proving in the Leipzig? How that materia medica pura could be in existence if JAR refused to do the proper indexing? How could we have lineage of particular repertories? What about them? Because who is going to talk about them? Each person can have half an hour, at least half an hour story. They have their own cases, like Jhar, Ipeka Kuana in asthma. He was so damn sure that if it's a kid and it's a Ipeka hint, you will never get failed. And to be honest, because before that, I was not using Ipeka in kid asthma. But then I've gone through that. And later on, I found out, yeah, it works like miracle. It works like miracle. So there are lots of beauties from jar, from staff. That aconite, the aconite symptom, the mental calmness is contradiction written by Master. His source, his source. That's how it works. So today I am having that gratitude for these people. So I just want to talk about these people. Maybe it will feel like little bit slow, dull, but if you are stuck in your practice, if you are disheartened, he will survive you. Obviously, you can see in the slide background also, behind this Paul name, the the handsome master is always there. But they were always there for masters. So he was the one. Next one is Crozerio. Who is Crozerio? Do you know who is Crozerio? We are talking about the beautiful practice of Paris. But who was there for Hahnemann to assist him in clinical work? This young boy was there. A young boy with a talent and dedication. He was always there. Even, even when Master passed away, when there were lots of issues because Madame Melanie was not a qualified doctor. And in 1846, there was a trial on her that you are not a doctor. How could you trial? Herring sent help by the Allentown diploma from the America, but the local law refused to accept that diploma as a practice permission. It was honorary diploma, so we can't allow you to practice. So now what about Madam Melanie? Who is going to help her? He helped her. He was the first one who said, ma'am, you can practice here. It will be on my name. So she just shown on paper that Melanie is his assistant. Though Melanie was like a guru mata for him, so he always shown that gratitude to master. Even when master was passed away, he supported master in that beauty. You won't believe how beautiful it was, because it's a very beautiful portion. It's a very beautiful portion of this, that gratitude portion. 1846 case on Melanie. She lost that case. She was barred from practice. He said, I'm going to look after. He's just like P.P. Wells to Bonnie Hussain. Do you know P.P. Wells? He was guru of Stuart Close. Stuart Close. He was guru of Stuart Close, and he was assistant of Bonnie Hussain. When Bonnie Hussain was busy with some work and he has to look after the follow-ups, P.P. Wells usually there were to do. And when master and ma'am were out for their moments of a life, Crosserio was always there to help them. And do you know, Crosserio was the first one among the assistant who was aware of use of 50 millisimal potency. He was the first one who wrote the letter to Bonnie Hussain as an answer of his query about 50 millisimal potency. He is the pioneer of 50 millisimal potency. Like for the first patient of 50 millisimal potency, the famous musician of his era. He is the first assistant of Hahnemann who was knowing about 50 millisimal potency. And he wrote a letter to Bonnie Hussain about that division infinitesimal division. That was Crosserio, a beautiful physician with a golden heart for his master. He never ever tried to jump. Even Madame Melanie, she tried her best to bring Bonnie Hussain to France to establish the practice. Crosserio was always support. So Crosserio is a forgotten hero. He is just like that Lagan movie's last dialogue, that those people are somewhere lost in the pages of history. It is not anyone's fault, but we have to revive, because I am the when I am a scholar of 50 millisimal potency, I was a scholar of 50 millisimal potency, and I will be a scholar of 50 millisimal potency. I always want to learn about it. When I was digging to get the idea, I found a reference of Bonnie Hussain, and when I dig little bit deeper, I found reference of this man. And when I was thinking how it is possible that master disclosed his beautiful discovery at the later age, which he was not clearly mentioning to even other three people. Even Herring was not knowing about it. How he was knowing about it? See the importance. So I just go through little bit data, and I found something beautiful about Rosario, that he was the one who always there to support master. So he is the one who is like forgotten hero. So lots of emotions for him also. Then next one is Lemon. Do you know who is Lemon? Kothen, Leipzig, beautiful years. Lemon was so near and dear to Hahnemann that when Hahnemann left Germany, Hahnemann had his own chest box with his own name, with ivory customized. He gifted to this person. Imagine master giving his own medicine chest box full of medicines with his own name, his own possession. It could be $1 million today. He gifted. Have it, Lemon. How many times we have heard about it? Who he was? Gottfried Lehmann. I'm having a beautiful picture of him here. He was sent by master as a medical superintendent of one hospital, what we call uh, uh, director of hospital. Master suggested one another name also. It's a very beautiful story we all should know. He was Hofrat Lehmann, 1865. Very, very, very impactful. I'm going to read 3-4 lines from the Cothen life of Honeyman. Honeyman Cothen, being unable to attend his numerous patients, though engaged till a late hour at night, obtained the assistance of Dr. Lehmann. So what Crozerio was for Honeyman in Paris, Lehmann was to the Honeyman in Cothen. And Cothen was the last stop, if I'm not wrong, for the master before leaving for the France. He attended Honeyman's patient for 3 years, afforded his employer the most complete satisfaction, and prepared the medicines with greatest care. He is one of the people whom Honeyman believed, because in Cothen, master prepared his medicines by his own and saving $3,000 every year. So who was the saving person for Honeyman in Cothen to save this much money? He was Lehmann. If you read centesimal potency, and Honeyman is not taking every medicine from outside, if he is proving something, who is going to give that 100 succussions? This man. This man. He won Honeyman's heart more and more, not only by a zealous devotion to his master, but by his candid, unhesitating opposition elsewhere. Honeyman knew how to appreciate these qualities. I am reading it from a book. I am not ashamed of it, because nobody read this book since years. I haven't found single person in my 4 years quest who can tell me, yes, I have gone through this book and I know who is Lehmann. The people who are claiming to be historian, they are knowing that yes, there was someone like Lehmann. We know Bonning Hussain, Herring, and Honeyman was the greatest trio. But what about that next person who saved time for Honeyman? And had he not raised himself to the highest station in the world of science by unwearying opposition to the old system, had he not penetrated the source of his new doctrine, he reposed the highest confidence in Dr. Lehmann. Even during Honeyman's residence at Paris, Lehmann prepared his medicines. So whenever Honeyman require a good medicine, whom he can trust? And I don't have reference, but I have just somewhere came through some lines that Dr. Chatran, the last physician of Honeyman, with Madame Melanie, the medicine he was giving was from Lehmann. That was the trust of master. That was the trust of master. And imagine, it is 40 minutes and only 5 people. We can conclude. Because Melanie have almost matched with Crozerio. AGD, 1 hour is required. So Lehmann is that one. At the request of Honeyman, he had his bus taken, the bus of these two great...
Doctor, no problem. You can, doctor, you can take your own time. We can have 10 session, no problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, sir, I am a little bit slow and I don't want to disturb your schedule also. That's why.
No, we can have another session in September itself.
Okay. No, sir. It will be completed today.
Okay.
And luckily, sir, these people are making me feel like since afternoon, me and my friend who prepared all this technical work for me, we were just thinking, yeah, he was confused that how we can complete the 1 hour with it. I said the single person required the whole life, and they all lived with Honeyman. These are the people whom Honeyman gave the special work. So it will be a lengthy session. So this is Lehmann for me. Lehmann, an assistant of Honeyman, they are like querying statement for Honeyman that if I will not be more, Samuel will look after. Same when Honeyman was not in Kothen, Lehman was always there for the humanity. Next one is Grzelcyk. He is the one person who is turned from obstetric doctor, means today's gynec and OBGY doctor, to homeopathy. He is the one whom I have found in 6th edition with depth showing, gratitude showing by master in olfaction method, aphorism 246 footnote. If you go through 244, 248, you will find him there. Honeyman used this word that we are indebted for him. Who is Grzelcyk? He is the one. Olfaction method, the latest potency. Honeyman shared with Crozerio the latest method of prescription. The Grzelcyk was the one who always held Honeyman. He was the one who always suggested Honeyman to do something extraordinary. Something extraordinary. And he was the one. Hygeia, if I'm not wrong, he wrote one beautiful work, Hygeia. And that's how it all came. He was the one who just simply suggested Honeyman value of olfaction. And you won't believe, in Paris practice, Honeyman had numerous people working with this method and getting results. That is how it is. You won't believe when I have this book, what I'm carrying right now. When I've gone through it and I just went with the photographs, I was just like amazed. We don't know about them. A common person cannot find a place in Master's Magnum Opus. His name is there with the gratitude. Imagine, he was the one who opposed Honeyman when Honeyman was wrong. He was the one who suggested Honeyman when Honeyman was in need. He was the one who verified the concept of olfaction and that sentient nerve concept. And you won't believe, when you have idiosyncratic patient, when there is a lots of aggravation, he is the one who will help you like anything. In my whole 8-year practice, I found 2 idiosyncratic people and 50 millisieverts potency in olfaction. You won't believe how it worked. And I don't have that confidence. But every day when I read this, I see it, I find it, I understand it. So he's the one who is having name in Organon. He's immortal now. But issue is, are we going through it? Are we reading it? Obviously. So 153 footnote, 2 people, 246 somewhere, 1 more. Next one is AGD. AGD is one who was one of the notorious, naughty, mischievous students of Honeyman. He was basically an allopath, if I am not wrong. And from it, he turned. I have a special page for him. Today, I am just opening it up, so I don't miss even a little bit of him. Dr. Carl Julius AGD. He was an allopath, hardcore allopath, non-believing in any other thing. He had accident and his left shoulder become injured. He tried bloodletting, Saturn's pottery for 2 years. For 2 years, he was suffering. Then some of his friends who had belief in homeopathy, he said, "Why are you suffering, my friend? We have one person who will help you. Try one later." Initially, he refused. Then, as a curiosity, inquisitive nature, he tried. He wrote a letter to Honeyman. Honeyman responded his letter and did interrogation about his contaminated skin eruption history. And you won't believe, he was surprised that a person who have not met me ever, who is not here to see me from far away, he is asking, "Do you have this thing?" Because master had found a pattern of some remedy. And he asked confirmatory question that, "Do you have this?" it could be anchor to eliminate remedy or select remedy. Very beautifully it went. It was positive history. Medicine was given to him with his surprise. That left shoulder complaint, which was declared as incurable, lifelong suffering, went away. AGD was astonished. He was stunned. So he visited Kothen. And in Kothen, he visited Master. He took complete course of medicine being there. And you won't believe, when AGD visited Master, he himself had a royal job. He was privy councillor of sanitation at his own state. It is just like having a what we call chief officer. It was like chief officer of his time. Very beautiful condition. He left that job. He decided to get knowledge about it. He did it. But why I'm calling him notorious student of Hahnemann? Today, a few days back, maybe that was a subconscious reason to remember all these people. I was sitting somewhere with few of my friends, and among them I have found 2 3 new people. They were saying that if Master could have today, he would have selected or he would have accepted 2 3 medicine combination, right? So law of simplex could be crashed away or could be removed from the fundamental principle of homeopathy. Luckily, I was knowing about this person, so I was just sitting and smiling inside me. What do you think? Master couldn't have faced that thing. He did. AGD was a marvelous person. He had that. I am in a present tense because I am feeling like they are sitting around. It is happening around me. So we are talking in more present tense rather than the past. High potency and combination. These two things were fascinating for AGD. He was getting beautiful results with both. So he sent later to Master initially 33 miraculous cure with combination of remedy and 200 something cure with high potency. You won't believe, Master responded to both. He said that your high potency concept, I am highly appreciating, I am working on it, and I'm going to accept it. But for your double remedy concept, sorry, I have experienced it and I have abandoned it. So those who are thinking that Master never tried this 2 remedy concept, nope. The first fundamental was law of minimum by Master, second law of similia with drug proving, then came drug dynamization, then came double remedy, then theory of chronic disease and vital force. Chronology is very important. Though we take 3 law, 2 doctrine, we just jumble up in our way. No, it is just like this. So when Master was struggling with his failures and chronic disease concept was still in his primitive age, all this was happening. That's why in later age, when AGD said, he said, buddy, I'm very clear that your central force is single. So you need a single remedy. So vital force, chronic disease, and this law of simplex, simple single remedy. They having their own circle. If you have a single force, then it could be affected by single force. Multiple force will create chaos in the body. And that's how it all works. So AGD was the one. Second beautiful incidence. I don't have a source, so I can't say he was AGD only. Some other student from the Master. He was sitting with Master. Master took one case. It was a plantar warts, palmar warts. The whole palm was full of warts. Master took the case, Master gave the remedy, and Master said, all will went. All will go. All will go. Don't worry, all will go. And in few days, when patient came back, all warts were. the student become curious. And the beauty of master practice was he always make you think. So initially, that student asked the master that, master, what was the remedy? Master said, no, no, remedy is not important. Observation is important. Aphorism 6, the unprejudiced observer. Don't be in the search of the remedy, be in search of the aphorism 153, PQRS. The remedy will come automatically as aphorism 211. So that was the beauty. So the moment master refused, that over enthusiasm of the student jumped up. When master left from the OPD, he just came silently. He just rolled up the pages and he checked, okay, remedy given was chamomilla. So he went, he checked in material, there was no symptom like that Palmer warts. So next day he asked master, master, there is no symptom of Palmer warts in chamomilla. How you prescribe? Master said, you watched warts. I watched disposition. So rude, cross, and uncivilized that person was. That is the base of aphorism 211. The mental state often determines the remedy. Then he said, look, if you will search for remedy, you will fail for 1,000 times. If you will go with the process, you will learn it more easily. Few people said that he was AGD who tried this. I don't have reference, but this story gave me a reference of 5-6 aphorisms, and it gave me very beautiful cases in my life. That sometime I put pathology away. Yes, I don't discard them. It is prognostic valuation. But yes, so from AGD I learned. So till I was a student or a learner at my teacher's clinic, I was always, sir, I don't want to learn remedy. How you observe that case? I want to learn that. And he was always like, you try first. Same happened with AGD. So whenever I found any argue on polypharmacy, I just recall AGD. And second thing I found, why I call him master, because what you think he had already tried. That's why he said there is no role of two remedies. And that was the basic concept of this.
Okay, doctor, our time is about to finish. Just
Yes, sir, I have just concluded. I have just concluded. We have 2-3 minutes, I think. So I would like to have any query question from anyone in the box. If you have anything you
yes,
could share,
yes.
anyone from audience.
Yes, it was really a very good session indeed, and you really show how Dr. Hanneman was so much dedicated to the work done by himself. That is, but there are people who are there to support him. That, but we never know about them. Particularly the people, Jar, Gross, Staff, Crosario, Lehman, Greshich, uh, Malaysia, Agaji, everyone really given some more thing to Dr. Hanneman, and Dr. Hanneman was able to take something from them also. That's so. That's the beauty of the presentation. We never heard about all these people, but this is the first time such a powerful presentation was shown in our path by you. Thank you for your excellent session. I think since the time is short, we cannot go for much discussion. Of course, we can have another session, and then we can have more discussion. Dr. Harihan sir is anxiously waiting for that. Anyway, sir, you can make some short comment.
Okay, doctor, very fine presentation. Thank you very much for the information you gave to us. Very good. But my thinking is that from there, we have not succeeded. Further points of height. That is my dilemma.
Okay, sir. That's also a very important point that we need to discuss about our. We need 1 hour for that. I think. Am I right, Dr. Prashant?
Sure, sir. We have lots of insight, and those things can make us
Yes,
better
yes,
person.
definitely, we will arrange another session for you so that we doctors can have interaction with you for all these doubts, and we can go ahead with a good presentation. Anyway, now it's the time to wind up the session. I invite Dr. Bob Lim to say as if you something, and then you can say a vote of thanks to the session also. Dr. Bob. Hello, Dr. Bob, are you there? So now, otherwise, Dr. Ramprasad, sir, you can say a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ganesh, and congratulations, Dr. Prashant Nuval, sir. Very
Thank
good presentation, excellent session. History of homeopathy, Dr. Hahnemann and Dr. Hahnemann, team and support, Dr. Jar, Dr. Gross. This is very nice presentation. Thank you, behalf of IFPH.
Thank you, sir.
Again, again, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Prashant, and those who participated in the session also. Tomorrow we will have another session at the same time, and that will be another important session. A doctor from the other side, that is a cardiologist from modern medicine, coming over here, and we'll be discussing about the artificial intelligence and its utility in cardiology. So everyone need to look into that also, because that will give you an idea how to understand cardiology things in this by using artificial intelligence. Thank you all. Good night. Over to Dr. Mariamma John.